Hello everyone, this is Zainul Abedin from Student Connect London office. Ramadan Kareem everyone. Hope you are well and safe. This live program is part of our ongoing effort to help students plan their study in UK while you are staying at home in this pandemic. And our all offices are working virtually so that you can stay home and save life. Small brief on Student Connect. We specialize in UK university admission, and we work with almost 100 universities and associate colleges for pathway providers as well. Our company started back in 2010 with head office in London. We currently have about 3 branch offices in Bangladesh, in Dhaka, Chittagong, Sylhet. So these ongoing broadcasts we've been doing to help students, get information on studying abroad, studying especially in the UK, and while you're staying at home, so that your application can still continue, and you can still plan for September intake. And the way it's happening now, slowly the pandemic lockdown, a lot of governments now taking initiatives to come out from it. So we are hoping soon we will come out from this pandemic, and we will, you will be able to come to UK to study for your higher education. So our today's guest is Mr. Tausif Ahmed, International Officer from UWE Bristol. Hello, Tausif. How are you?
Hi, Zainul. Hi, absolutely fantastic to be with you guys today. Of course, this is the first of many events that we're looking forward to while we stay home in lockdown. So I really appreciate your endeavor to host this event today.
Thank you very much indeed for coming to our event, and we are looking forward for a fruitful event today. Yes.
Thank you.
So it would be great if you can briefly introduce yourself, and also, of course, you have introduced yourself, and also if you can give an idea about UWE Bristol, why a student should study, how a student can prepare in this pandemic, and if you can give a brief, please.
Yeah. So as Zainul already mentioned, my name is Tausif Ahmed. So I'm working for UWE Bristol as an international recruitment advisor. Of course, we are, it's not me, myself, who is an employee of the university in Bangladesh. My boss, his name is Barrister Moshir Amanovi. He is working as the recruitment advisor for both Bangladesh and Mauritius. So he's, of course, hosting another event, and that's why he couldn't be here with us today. So basically, I would firstly like to give a brief outline of what the university is all about. So UWE Bristol is, of course, the full name is University of the West of England. So it's based in the southwest of England, almost 150 or 140 miles, if I'm not wrong, from London. So it's really near to London. Apart from that, if I can speak about the credentials of the university. So we ranked 28th in the UK out of 121 universities in the UK. So this ranking has been posted by the Guardian League table. We're top 7 for student satisfaction. So international students, they find student satisfaction very important, because once you step your foot in the UK, it's very important for you to feel home. And of course, I've studied in this university for 2.5 years. I never felt that I'm foreign to the university or to the country. Apart from that, we are TEF gold rated, so Teaching Excellence Framework is what it is called. It is the highest accreditation that a university can acquire. And also we are 94% of our graduates, once they are finishing their course or they're graduating from the university, 94% of the graduates get employment within the first 6 months. You can take me for an example. Being a live session, it's not possible for me to embark on every point, because it's a massive university and it has massive credentials. So at any point of time, if you have any questions, you could message us, or you could let Zainul Bhai know, and I'll try to get to all the answers within the short framework of time that we have. So, without any further ado, let me tell a bit more about the university. Of course, I've told you about the rankings and stuff. What are the key points of the university, and how does this university compete with other universities? So basically, this is a public funded university, and if you can imagine that a public funded university being ranked 28th, it's a very good ranking, and it's a very good university in the sense that we have teachers coming in from different parts of the world, students coming in from different parts of the world. Most of our teachers are professors. They hold the highest possible degrees, being PhDs. Of course, I studied law for 2.5 years in this university, and most of my teachers, my mentors, my peers were PhD holders, the barristers. So it is very important for any student when they come in, how their mentors are gonna be. It's not only about the university or how the university looks. It's about the core features of the university as to how you will be able to learn in that period of time. So I think the academic part of any course is very important, and our university surely lives up to that. So, if I could focus on the key points in Bangladesh. So the one thing that we are doing now that many of the universities are not doing is we have been a prominent provider of the English language test. So if I could focus a bit more on the English language test, we students from Bangladesh, we know that one of the main obstacles for us to step foot in the UK is the English language requirement. So we need to sit for the IELTS as soon as we're done with many of our courses here in Bangladesh, because it is one of the key requirements by the UK Visa and Immigration. So what we have done, ever since we have started the operation of this university in Bangladesh, of course it was there all the time, but when the university recruited staff members in Bangladesh, what we have been doing is that we have been taking physical physical tests, English language tests, where you would sit for an English language test, which would be the same format as an IELTS. Which is going to be 3 hours long, but there are some differences, of course. I'll get to the differences later whenever you are free to ask me any questions.
Are you doing this test now online?
Yeah, we are doing, I was getting to that. So we are doing, after the lockdown, what we tried to do is we didn't want the students to fall behind of meeting their requirements. So what we have done is that we have designed an online test, which is being held every Wednesday, every week. So we have 4 tests every month, so 4 Wednesdays. The next test actually is tomorrow. So yeah, if anyone wants to register for the online test, you need to get in touch with Student Connect. You need to apply first. Because until and unless you've made an application for a particular course, you won't be able to sit for the test, because this test is only for our course and this university. So you need to get in touch with Student Connect. You need to drop in an application for your desired or designated course, and then Student Connect will forward me your name, and I will take your test accordingly.
So those students who are interested,
I also want to mention.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. So those students who are interested to make application, is really easy at the moment. You can just, WhatsApp us all your documents. You don't need to worry about your personal statement. You don't need to worry about your CV. You can just quickly WhatsApp your documents, and then from there we can quickly create application for you. We understand that you can't just go and scan documents at the moment, go outside, it's quite risky. So while you stay home, and just send us the WhatsApp copies, and our counselors will take care of the rest. If you can also tell us about this online English language test procedure and how it's done and how long it takes, the whole process.
All right. So our English language tests were always free of cost. That is a point that I forgot to add. So this is something that I always look forward to. When I was applying for my master's in this university, of course, it was not like this. I had to sit for an IELTS by British Council or by IDP. So this is a fantastic opportunity for you to get done with your English requirement without even have to pay a penny. So yeah, that's fantastic. So as Zainul asked about the structure, so it's the same structure as an IELTS exam. So you start with the listening. Now with the online test, so you start with the listening. You have 4 passages to finish, 40 questions in the listening part, and then you go to reading again. You have to read 3 passages, and you have to complete 40 questions. And then you go to the writing. So now the main difference with our online test or our English language test with an IELTS test is that in writing, you have to just sit for task 2 for us. You don't have to sit for task 1. And task 2, you don't have to write more than 250 words in an hour. So that says it. I mean, it's very lenient. But then again, you need to do very well to come up with your designated score. So I'll outline the scores for the different courses as well. So for undergrad, you need to have a score of 6 overall, not less than 5.5 in each component. For postgraduate, you need to have a minimum of 6.5 overall, not less than 6 in each component. And then there's the course which has the highest requirement, so which is called the bar training course, which makes you a barrister. I did that course, and you need to have a minimum overall of 7.5 and not less than 7 in each component. That's called the bar training course. Yeah, so those are, sorry?
Fantastic, great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for all the detailed information. And if you can let us know what are the popular courses at UWE Bristol that Bangladeshi student goes to study there.
Right, so the most popular course for Bangladesh would be law. I wouldn't be conceding any of that. Law is, I mean, we've had more law graduates and more barristers coming out of UWE than I think. This year alone, back in, in 2018 alone, when I was doing my bar course, there were 38 other colleagues of mine who were from Bangladesh as well. And with me, there were 39 students only doing the bar course. So this is irrespective of all the students who are doing their undergrad as well. So undeniably, law is the most popular subject for UWE, but now, after collaboration with many other partners like Student Connect, of course, we have diversified our courses for students. We can now see that there is a trend for students to go for various business courses. I think Zainul Bhai will agree with me. The most popular course now for business, the most popular business course now, I think, is probably business management, international business management.
That's right.
I've had many students from Student Connect who've gone for international business management. So as far as that question is, which is the most popular course? I think there is no more. We're not in the era anymore where it's what is the popular course. I think now you need to see for something which is very different from what everyone else is doing.
I think previously probably the university was more focusing on law. Obviously, it's their strongest point. And obviously in Bangladesh, one of the mainstream, courses is business management, computer science, life science, engineering, and obviously law as well. If you want to become a barrister, you must come to UK and do the BPTC and have law qualifying degree from UK as well. So if you can, since we are talking about law, I will just quickly ask some law-related question.
Yeah, sure. Go on.
So,
Thank you.
can a student do an LLM and straight go to BPTC, or do they have to have first a law qualifying degree, or do they have to do any additional module in order to do the BPTC after doing the LLM?
Right. So what's the question like? Did he do the LLM from the UK?
So yeah. So if someone doing an LLM in UK university, say at UWE Bristol, can they go and do straight BPTC? Because some university, provides generic LLM program. It's not law qualifying degree.
Right. So yeah, I think we are along the same line. So let me put this scenario forward. So let's say I'm a student who did my master's in banking and finance law. And previously I did my LLB, let's say from North South University. Now the problem is, after I'm done with my master's at UWE, I want to do the bar course as well.
That's right.
But the bar course, if you want to do the bar course, you need to have knowledge of the core modules in the UK law. So, for example, when I was doing my LLB in North South University, no one taught me public law of the UK. No one taught me common law of the UK. No one taught me criminal law of the UK or contract law of the UK. So this is the complication that looms, and what the student needs to do, irrespective of a master's from the UK, is that they need to have the qualifying law degree. And for having the qualifying law degree, you need to sit for 9 core modules, which unfortunately, once you're done with your master's, you still need to do that course. So yeah, I think that answers part of your query. So even if a student is done with his or her master's from the UK, from a well-reputed university, it would still mean that he or she needs to do the QLD program to do the bar.
So is your LLM QLD law qualifying degree?
No. Our master's is not going to allow you to go directly for the bar. You need to still go for the QLD, because every master's is specialized into something. So, for example, I did my master's in banking and finance law. So, being that it won't, the master's program can't bring in all the components of the QLD into the same course, but it's just a 1-year course. So it's not possible.
That's right. So they would have to do a GDL or a MA law, this sort of program.
Yeah.
Are you offering those programs?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are indeed.
Fantastic, great. So also, if you can shed light some on the entry requirements for Bangladeshi students, especially with the Bangladeshi qualifications.
So for LLB or for LLM?
For LLB or any other qualification such as business, computer science, life science.
So let's make it undergrad and postgrad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That makes it easier. So for undergrad, I advise students to have, the more the merrier. So for example, I think for the first time in my life, I saw students going from after SSC and HSC to respectable courses for undergrad courses at UWE. It is very important for students to have good results, of course. This is universal in SSC and HSC. I think the minimum that we take is not less than 4.8 in your HSC. And of course, after your SSC, if you want to go for a course, it has to be a foundation. So that's a different ball game. If you want to go for a course, for undergrad courses, you need to be done with your SSC and your HSC. Otherwise, you'll have to go for a foundation. So HSC, the minimum that we look for is 4.8. Not anything less than that, it's going to be very hard. I mean, we can, of course, make the application. Student can make the application, but I don't think the university is going to accept. So, and if you have, let's say, a golden, or I think golden GPA, that's what they call it. So if you have a golden A star in both your SSC and your HSC, then there's a high possibility that you're going to end up with a scholarship for your undergrad, which is a fantastic thing. And for postgrad, once again, the better the score you have, the more chances for scholarship you're going to get. So let's say out of a CGPA of 4, if you have something about 3.5, which is a first class, it's going to end up giving you a very respectable scholarship in the university. And as far as the minimum standards are concerned, we do not accept anything less than 2.7 as a CGPA for master's courses.
Fantastic. Since you have mentioned about scholarship, so how much is the scholarship is the university offering for anyone want to start the university in September 2020?
All right. So the minimum scholarship that we allow is £2,000. Of course, the student needs to still apply for those £2,000. They need to show that they have some form of academic excellence or extracurricular activities for which he or she is worthy of the scholarship. The maximum that we provide is that one scholarship. It's called the Lord Templeman Scholarship. It's a scholarship, of course, once again based and made only for law students. So it's a full free scholarship for 1 year. So let's say any student who wants to go for their first or second or third year, if they have academic excellence, they can apply for this scholarship and have their entire tuition fees waived. So we are working on that. Currently, it's just for one student across Bangladesh. We're working on that, and for sure, we're going to come up with something better. So my message to the students is that if you think and if you can show us on paper, if you can show Student Connect on paper that you have a respectable score, Student Connect can write to me, you can write to me, and then I will pursue it with the university, and we will try our best to give you the best scholarship scheme that we can.
Fantastic. So if you can, I know a lot of Bangladeshi students studying there. So if you can give us an idea how Bangladeshi students are doing at UWE. I know yourself and a graduate from UWE Bristol, and like how many students joined past in the university. If you can give us an idea, would be great.
So I think there was a break in the internet. Anyways, so this is a very popular question that I have to answer all the time. So the last year itself, I think Barrister Ravi, because I joined November 2019. So January 2019 and September 2019, I think combined we sent 101 students. That was a rough figure, but we exceeded more than 90. That is for sure. It is a big Bangladeshi community in Bristol. I think there are a lot of students who are staying on campus, Bangladeshi students. So when I was doing my master's, it's a funny story. When I was doing my master's and my bar, whenever I used to look around, I could see Bangladeshi students. And it meant that even though I'm in the UK, I'm surrounded by Bangladeshi people. So, which is, of course, a very good thing. Once you are in the UK, of course, you're on your own. Your parents are not there. Of course, Bangladeshi people, Bangladeshi kids, we are very pampered by our parents. But once you're in that space where you have to be by yourself, you have to excel on yourself. You need good friends, and I've made a lot of good Bangladeshi friends. Living in Bristol was very easy, especially for Bangladeshis, because having that community, having that society. We have a community outside of the university as well. That I mean, of course, Zainul Bhai knows there are a lot of Bangladeshis living and working in Bristol as well. So there is a life outside of the university for Bangladeshi people as well, where there are mosques where you will see Bangladeshi imams. You will see majority of the mosques Bangladeshi people are joining because the areas are dominated by Bangladeshi people. And yeah, I think when I was in the UK, when I was in Bristol, more importantly, I think I found it very easy because of my surroundings. So, of course, there was help whenever I needed help. There was support whenever I needed support. I had Bangladeshi friends, as I mentioned before. So one thing that I can guarantee you it's a 110-acre campus, so it's very easy for you to get lost. Till date, I couldn't finish the tour of the entire campus because it's so big. So one thing that I can assure you that whenever you will feel lost or whenever you will feel frustrated, because of course you'll be far away from home, you'll always have some form of support from Bangladeshi people. I think, yeah, that's a fantastic credential of the
Great.
university.
Thank you very much. So looking at the September 2020 intake, like how do you think the lockdown situation looks like? What is the university policy now towards the September 2020 intake? A lot of students are asking, like, is September intake really going to happen or not? So a lot of universities are like taking precautions, such as, taking first semester online or so whatsoever. Some universities did that for May intake because of the lockdown. So how UWE Bristol looking at this situation and how they are preparing for it?
Well, the most recent update that I can give you is that if any university in the UK is opening in September 2020, then we will be open as well, because this is not anymore in the hands of the university whether they want to open or not. It's more or less in the hands of the UK government how they want to come out of this lockdown. Of course, yesterday itself I saw an article from the UK government as to how they want, because international students is such a big part of the culture of the UK, how they will welcome these students into the UK after the lockdown. So what I want students to understand is, as far as September 2020 is concerned, you need to be patient. You still have a lot of time. I mean, it's still May. You still have June, July, August. So 3 more months. Anything can happen in these 3 months. The UK might open the borders again in the next month. It can come out of full lockdown and it can go full operational in the next 15 days. So you never know. What I want students to do is, if your ultimate destination is the UK, if your ultimate destination is UWE, maintain constant rapport with us, constant communication with us, and we will be able to give you the latest update. Also, keep an eye on the news, what the UK is up to, and I think keeping up to date with the news is a very important factor, because you're staying at home, you're not being able to communicate with any of the employees, either in Student Connect or with us. So maintain constant rapport, either through phone, through email, or through WhatsApp, however you feel convenient, and we will be able to give you the latest update. Now, as far as any delays are concerned, I think what I have heard from the higher officials in the university is that I think the courses which were supposed to start from September 2020 might prolong till November. So September, October, the courses may start from October, mid-October, or first week of November. That is what can happen. So we need to be patient. Of course, what is most important for us is our personal safety, and henceforth, any information that you need, you can contact us at any time. As far as 2021 is concerned, I think there is nothing to worry. Let's say the people who are thinking about going for the course in January 2021 shouldn't be a problem, because by that time, for sure, inshallah, everything is going to be back to normal. And I don't want to talk about September 2020 because the 2021, because that by that time everything will be back to normal. So yeah.
So yeah, that's true. I mean, the way I see the UK government approaching, I mean, even in the Europe as well, slowly, they're coming up with the measures how to come out from the lockdowns. So in the UK as well, UK government, we are expecting on Thursday will give some announcements on the steps how they will be coming out from the lockdown. We know the Prime Minister Boris Johnson is planning that they will start school from June. So they're coming up with plans how to keep the social distancing still and keep contaminate the virus, fight against it through the scientific measures they are implementing. So we are hoping by June there will be a lot of lockdown will be easing up. So this is the right time actually for students to prepare themselves for for studying in the UK.
Yeah.
You can attend our online English language classes, and also we have dedicated IELTS teacher both in Dhaka, Sylhet. You can contact them through our local offices and get online IELTS lessons as well, so that you can prepare yourself for university English test. So this is your time. So you can prepare everything yourself. You can do the online English test with the university, and we can, excuse me, we can apply for you at the university, get the offer letter done. So as soon as lockdown stops, then you can go and apply for the visa straight away. So, and also we have some questions coming up. So we have a question from Kutubuddin Shahed. He's asking, he has IELTS 6.5. Does UWE accept IELTS 6.5, and how much I need to pay before enrollment? He also has a further question, how much is the tuition fee for LLM? So he wants to study LLM and he has IELTS 6.5, and he wants to know as well how much he needs to pay before enrollment.
So depends first of all, depends on how much, apart from the fact that he has a 6.5 overall, I need to know whether individually he has 6 or not. Anything less than 6, he has to sit for another test. Yeah. But the other question about the course fees for LLM, the course fees are £13,500. And if he is to apply for any sort of scholarship, let's say he has had a history with academic excellence, he needs to drop an application through Student Connect first to observe whether he's eligible for a scholarship. And initially, he needs to pay £3,000 for his visa, for his CAS. For obtaining his CAS, he needs to pay £3,000.
Fantastic. So, Mr. Kutubuddin Shahed, if you have IELTS 6.5 overall, yes, you mentioned that, and if your individual all band is not less than 5.5, you are directly
not less
qualified.
Than 6.
Not less than 6 you're looking for, yeah? Okay, sorry. So university is looking for individual band not less than 6. If you have that, you can apply directly for the LLM program. The fees is £13,500. There is an option to apply for the scholarship. Also, if you don't have this individual, score 6 in each and every band, you have the option to do the university English test as well. So it's free of cost. You can do that. And guys, if you have any other questions, comments, please feel free to put it on in our comment sections. We will try to answer as much as we can. And if you can explain us on the post-study work that UK government announced in summer 2021, how it will help students on this.
So it is a fantastic opportunity to be honest. So I feel I envy the people who will be getting this this advantage, because I studied in the UK for 2.5 years. The moment my visa finishes, I need to come back. But for you guys now, so let's say you do a course which is 1 year, which is a course for 1 year, and then you go on to do your post. So it's all in all, you're going to stay in the UK for 3 years. So the reason why it is such a fantastic opportunity is because we are now living in an era where expertise is if you can show it in your CV. It's not anymore what education or what Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, sorry, there was a little bit of interruption in the broadcast. Please continue. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. So yeah, as I was saying, that we are living in an era now where your employment will be reflected in your CV. It's not anymore We're not living in that era anymore where it's how good a student you were. There was a time when the employers used to look at how good a student you were to analyze or to assess how good an employee you will be. But it's all about how good what you have on your CV. So let's say when you are done with your first year or your year of study, the next 2 years you'll get to get that work experience. Getting work experience from the UK is not a matter. I mean, it's not going to be every person in Bangladesh who has that experience. So for example, let's say after you're done with your course, the biggest employers, biggest multinationals, for example, Boeing and Airbus. Let's say you did aeronautical engineering, and then you got a job with Boeing. Imagine when you have even as an intern, if you have Boeing in your CV and you're coming back to Bangladesh with that CV, this means that you have the potential for something very big, right? So I think it is very important the government has, of course, announced that this is still in place. This will be effective, as Zainul Bhai said, from summer 2021. So we are really looking forward to this. We are really looking forward to you making yourself compatible and making yourself competitive enough so that after your year of studies, the university, you have that level of communication, that level of expertise to go into work and to fetch up work in your line of in your line of education. So it's very important. So if I were in your position, let's say after I'm done with my LLM, I would look for opportunities, let's say as a paralegal or as an intern in a legal firm, just to gain experience for the first year and then go on for more professional experience, let's say.
Yeah, actually, I have my own personal experience. So when I finished my MBA back in 2009, so that time I was myself a student in the UK. And so that time there was post-study work, and literally that was the last year of post-study work offering, and then after that it was closed. So you students, you must grab this opportunity. So we have this opportunity, post-study work coming up. It will not stay forever. Government will close it at some point after a few years or so. So that time I had my post-study work visa back in 2010. And that's the time I have set up my company, I have set up my business. And today you see Student Connect after 10 years. We have office in Bangladesh, 3 offices, our head office is in London. So this is a great opportunity for you to have a British work experience, British working environment, and this experience will enrich your CV. And also becoming an entrepreneur, those who becomes entrepreneur, or finding a law internship, or becoming an accountant. So you have huge amount of opportunities, becoming an engineer. So all these sectors, and furthermore, the most important part is UK is coming out from EU. So due to that, there will be huge vacuum in the society, in the country, in different sectors, especially engineers, computer science sections, engineering, health science, and life science, these all areas as well, accounting. So you have the opportunity to fill up these vacancies, and the post-study work gives you this opportunity, because employers looks for a full-time employee who can dedicate their considerable amount of time. So you have this 2 years time to have this experience, and from there actually you can build up your future. Because if you do good, maybe employer will retain you. After the 2 years, you'd be able to apply for this new point-based migration system, through where you can apply for the work permit, where it would be point-based system. You would get points for having a job offer. So if you are already in a company working under post-study work visa, So if you've done performance, if you're performing well with them, the company would sponsor you, probably would give you a job offer for your further point-based immigration system visa application, which gives you an option even to have settled down in the UK. So like me, I had this option through post-study work visa. That's why still I'm in the UK. So you have the opportunities as well, similar something to do as well. So there is a question, was basically before enrollment, how much payment they have to pay? How much tuition fees?
So this is a tricky question. So this is a very tricky question. I've had this question for it's been one of the popular questions now. So I would like to answer it in a rather. I mean, I don't want anyone to take me wrong, but the university wants you to make a payment of £3,000 initially for stepping path or initiating your course in the UK. £3,000 make sure that you will be able to apply for your CAS, confirmation of acceptance of studies, and then you'll be able to embark your journey for the UK. So what we, what me and Mr. Ovi, we suggest to the students is that if your prime intention is to study in the UK, if your prime intention is to reach the UK and complete your line of education, then what you should do is that you should pay at least 50% of your student fees, because it becomes easier for you. The transition is easier. Of course, we are still living with our parents. Most of the students, we're still living with our parents. And once we are leaving for the UK, it is going to be difficult for parents to have connection with those banking procedures that you need to do in order to send the rest of the tuition fees to the university. So what we normally advise is for the students to send half of the tuition fees and then take it on from there. But of course, it depends on, it varies from student to student, how they think about this. And of course, we assess how the student should pay as well. Because we have firm instructions from the university as far as payment is concerned. So we tend to adhere to those instructions. But of course, as I said before, that it varies from student to student. But initially, you need to pay £3,000. That is all that I can say.
Okay. So in terms of, visa officer perspective, we always advise as much as tuition fees you can pay is better, because you would be facing a visa interview. They call it credibility interview. So the intention of this interview to check your intention, whether you are a genuine student or not. So a genuine student obviously would like to make sure they would pay the fees, So once you pay 50% or more fees, it seems that, you are a genuine student. You paid already half of the fees, especially because when the visa UK categorized Bangladesh as a high-risk country. So most of the universities in UK, usually what they do, you have an initial deposit, as he mentioned, like £3,000. But when by enrollment, they usually require 50% of the tuition fees. So once you arrive in the UK and paying further money by enrollment, how are you going to bring the money again? It takes quite some time, So that's why we suggest always clear your 50% of the fees before applying for a visa. And in terms of if your visa by any chance got rejected, so university usually, refunds all your fees. So if you can also mention the refund policies of UWE Bristol would be great.
So as you mentioned, that the refund policy is such that if you have paid, of course, there is a whole, for any course, you need to pay a nominal amount to secure that seat. So our university is a very competitive university. So, for example, if I give you the example of the bar course, every bar student, in order to secure their seat in the course, they need to pay £350 initially to secure their seat, which is not refundable. But after that, they need to make a further payment of £2,650 to have their CAS, their process into the visa. That is fully refundable. It takes like I think 2 to 3 working weeks because we are, of course, making the transfer through the banks and a wire transfer. So for the university to process that transfer back to where from you have made the payment, it takes a bit of time. But normally, apart from the fees that you're paying, which is the nominal fees of £350, the entire fees that you will pay is refundable, provided you're not able to go to the university or for your course.
So I have another question here. One of my friends lives in Sweden and wants to study at Bristol. Can he do that? So one of the students' friend lives in Sweden and he wants to study at UWE Bristol. Can he do that?
Lives in Sweden. I mean, it's a bit vague. So is he a resident in Sweden, or is he just over there? He's working or something, or he's a student over there? We need to know that, of course. And then we need to know, is there a big study gap or what course he wants to apply for? Of course, he can apply from anywhere in the world.
That's right.
He can apply from anywhere in the world, but we need to see his documents first. So if you could, Kutub, if you could pass on your friend to Student Connect, and they will take it on from there.
Fantastic. So basically, for admission from any country, even from Bangladesh or Sweden, from any country in the world, you have to fulfill the admission entry criteria, which is same for every country. It's just changed to at equivalency of each country. So if he's originally from Bangladesh, so how long he's been living in the Sweden, what he's been doing, what is his legal status, everything has to be provided, all information, and based on those information we can check his eligibility to study at the university or not, and if he's eligible then we can forward an application to the university. There is a question about placement year for bachelors and masters. Does your masters bachelors offer placement year?
There are depends on what masters we're talking about. Not all of them have placement year, so I'll let you know about the ones which do have placement year. So let's say MSc Physician Associate Studies. This one has placement opportunities. So environmental consultancy and then sustainable development. These have placement opportunities. Wildlife conservation, and then transport engineering and planning. And then we have MA, a Masters in Design, and then Masters of Science in Global Political Economy. We have a lot of courses with placement opportunities. Depends on what course you're after. So I would suggest you to go to the UWE course page. Just type UWE courses in Google and it will come up with all the, you can divide them between undergrad and postgrad, and you can see which are available for the placement as well.
Fantastic, great. There was another question asking if UWE Bristol accepts medium of instruction English letter as a alternative to IELTS.
No. That would mean that we would open the floodgates. That is not possible. No, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, because some universities are accepting it, but bear in mind, students, those university accepting medium of instruction English letter, they would always interview you and also check your English ability. So if your English ability is not that great, but you happen to be studying at a private university and you have medium of instruction English letter, that might not always secure your admission unless you can really speak and perform well in English. Because bear in mind, you're coming to UK, you have to communicate in English, and also in the visa interview, you have to face a visa interview where you would have to communicate in English. So don't think that without English you can come to UK. This is something is number one. You know, when you're planning to go abroad to study in UK, number one thing you should think about English, then think about passport. I would say first start with English, then it comes with passports and documents and other things. So
Yeah,
English language is the key thing.
yeah, I think I would like to add over there a bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's not empathy or sympathy that we need. I mean, I've always thought that Bangladeshi students, what after graduation or after their dreams are very, very big, which is a very good thing. And of course, you should always dream big, but you know, for every dream or every step in your life, there needs to be a foundation. And you know, when I get questions from students that whether my English is good enough, or when they're sitting for the test and the results are not satisfactory, I think the only solution that there is for you to practice. You know, there was a time when Zainul Bhai and me, we couldn't speak this good English. There was a time. But what did we do to bring our English to this level today? We practice. We always communicate in English. We try to, from the very foundation of our upbringing, it's not possible for all the students or all the kids to go to English medium schools. But there still are very exceptional students from Bengali medium that speak, mashallah, very well. So don't take it like this, just because from a Bangla medium background, or you don't have that English essence in your educational upbringing, that you cannot speak good English or you cannot understand good English. It's all after practice. If you practice day in, day out, English is nothing. It's the easiest language to come through. Let's say if you were to learn Chinese, then you would understand what difficulties you would face.
That's right. So if there is any other questions and comments, please feel free to put it on, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. This program is going live in our YouTube channel and also in our Facebook page. So like our Facebook page for regular updates on studying in the UK. And if you have any other further questions, you can also email it to us. You can communicate with our local offices in Dhaka, Sylhet, and Chittagong. Our Chittagong office is waiting for a grand opening, actually, because of the lockdown. The grand opening was stopped. So our Dhaka office will be managing the Chittagong office for now. So you can communicate our Dhaka office, all Chittagong students. And in order to send application, just WhatsApp your documents and everything. And I would like to thank Mr. Tausif Ahmed for attending our event today and making it a successful event, and giving your valuable time. And thank you, Avi, as well, your colleague, for all the support to Student Connect. We are looking forward for a good September intake. We are looking forward to come out from this pandemic and, welcome all students to the UK. And I'm looking forward for all our student gathering in the UK. Usually I go and meet my students, we go for a lunch, dinner at restaurants. I'm hoping soon we'll have this opportunity, restaurants will be opening up. Yeah. So thank you very much indeed. And thank you very much again for being in live. And I wish you again all Ramadan Kareem, and hope to see you soon again. And we are having a live program tomorrow with University of Huddersfield at 2 p.m. Bangladesh time, 9 a.m. UK time. Margarita McDonald will be joining us. So please be tuned and come to Student Connect live show tomorrow. So thank you very much, Tausif. If you want to say any some concluding remarks, please.
Thank you, Zainul Bhai. Thank you so much. It was lovely speaking to you. Of course, I haven't spoken to you for a long time. It was wonderful to share my experiences and your experiences as well with the students. I think I hope we were of good information for you. If you need any further information, of course, you have all the information of Student Connect. You can get in touch with them, and then they will get in touch with me as well. So hopefully everything in this world will ease down. Hopefully, we will be looking forward to a post-pandemic scenario in our lives. Of course, lives everywhere is starting to get back to normal, and of course, we won't let any virus hit or create a backdrop for our students. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you as well in my office in Polton. Should you need to come to us. Thank you, Zainul Bhai, once again. Lovely meeting you. Until next time, I'm signing out. Looking forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very much indeed. Hope to see you all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye-bye.